Disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs is now spending his time behind bars. Combs is awaiting trial after being charged with federal sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Prosecutors are accusing him of running a disturbing empire of sexual crimes that spanned over a decade. Combs pleaded not guilty, and his attorneys asked for him to be released on a $50 million bond to home detention, but that was denied. Joining me now is legal affairs reporter Meghann Cuniff. Thanks so much for your time. I know you have been following this case since Combs' houses were raided back in March, and we now know that agents recovered AR-15s and 1,000 bottles of baby oil, which is unsettling. What stands out to you, though, the most in this indictment?
What stood out to me the most in the situation was how cooperative Diddy has been in the investigation coming up to this, in that he was clearly trying to build a case that he could be trusted outside of custody. It was remarkable to me, the correspondence that his lawyers have had with attorneys over the last, or with the prosecutors over the last few months, and how they readily admitted that he anticipated these charges and actually went to New York wanting to turn himself in. But I think the federal prosecutors laid out a pretty solid case yesterday about why his flight risk has increased exponentially since the charges were filed, and also the violent nature of the charges they were saying does not support release at all. So he's going to have another chance this afternoon, but I'm not sure if he's going to get a different scenario.
I was going to ask you that. I mean, what are your thoughts on whether a judge could change his or her mind and allow him to be released? I mean, with maybe even more stricter restrictions than we could imagine.
It's definitely happened before. I've seen it where a magistrate judge has said that there are no conditions in place that can ensure public safety if someone's released, and a judge has disagreed. I'm not sure if this case is going to be that situation here. It'll be interesting to see if his lawyers make any kind of changes to their bail package proposal, or what they say to the judge today to try to persuade him that the judge yesterday made the wrong decision.
Now, some are saying this could be the Me Too movement of hip hop. Could there be others charged in this investigation? I mean, especially considering the scope of the charges and all of these other people that potentially could have been aware of and involved in these so-called freak-offs, for, lack of a better term.
Yes, prosecutors did say that the investigation continues, and they're looking at co-conspirators, possible other charges. But what I think is a likelier scenario is that a lot of these people who are potential co-conspirators and could face their own criminal charges are going to end up testifying for the prosecution. When you read through the affidavit, the complaint, there's so many people here who could be eyewitnesses to the conduct in trial, and with the weight of being charged as a possible co-conspirator, that could be some good leverage for them to cooperate with prosecutors.
This federal indictment follows 9 lawsuits against Diddy in total, alleging, among other things, sexual assault, sexual misconduct. To your knowledge, did the grand jury convene its investigation because of these lawsuits, as a result of them, or was it independent of these lawsuits?
I don't know if we can make a direct correlation, but I think there is such an overlap between the grand jury investigation and the civil case that something can be said that if his former girlfriend Cassie had not come forward when she did last November, we might not be where we are today. Other people might not have come forward, because a lot of the case does seem to be built around Cassie. It doesn't name her, but it does mention the horrific video and the assault in the Los Angeles hotel that all of us have seen in the last few months.
Yeah, it's going to be another interesting day in court, to say the least. All right, legal affairs reporter Meghann Cuniff, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll be talking to you more in the future, maybe even tomorrow.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.